Good?
Yeah.
All right, let's go and get started. All right. I'm going to do an introduction, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Hamadakyapi. Relatives, last time we did this, Lisa and I, we decided that we were just going to mess around and got a good response, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. That was pretty surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was fun, so we decided to play again for Valentine's Day Special.
Yes.
So let's get started.
So we have 3 questions this time. I can't remember how many questions we had last time, but we had about 3, 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3 questions today. So you want to get started?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Put my gum out of my mouth. How would you indigenize Valentine's Day?
Holy smokes. How would I? I'm just kidding.
Well, first off,
I know.
this is what I would do.
First off, instead of a box of chocolates, it would probably be like a box of wasna, because when it's wasna, it's life.
And it's love.
It has all of the nutrients that you need, and that just really reaches and touches the chante.
I think we could capitalize on Cupid.
You think so?
I think that we could get because the bow and the arrow thing's right there, right? So we could
That's ours anyway.
That's
No, just kidding.
Belongs to us anyway. But I think that we could capitalize on Cupid because, we're all bad shots anyway, right?
I don't think it would be Cupid. You would have to come up with another name.
Yeah, right. All right. You're right. I forgot.
It can't be Cupid.
Kushni. That's bad shot. Anyway, I don't know how to, whenever we do this whole, trying to incorporate mainstream holidays to fit us so that we can celebrate it still.
Yeah. I don't see how it would fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
because Valentine's Day is every day.
Valentine's Day is every day.
Maybe if we change it to Hickey Saturday.
No.
All right.
Hickey Saturday or what? I just thought of something. I'm not going to say it, but anyway. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, do you believe there were traditional Lakota courting rituals? So I know that there are stories written about it, maybe songs, but do you believe that we actually had courting rituals? The Lakota had courting rituals?
I do believe that.
Why do you believe that?
Because I believe in love. No. I know there's a book that I read where it talked about how they courted. Say I was going to court you back in the teepee days.
Uh-huh.
I would come to you and I would say, I want to be your man, right? I got all this horses, furs, there's a lot that comes with me that you should hook up with. And then, it's your decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is it's your decision. But I have this opportunity to throw a blanket around you, just me and you underneath, and then I whispered 3 sweet nothings. And then, right? I think that's how it went.
You think so?
I think that's how courting worked. And I know, for example, they have the love flute. The love flute is an example.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You got to explain the love flute.
So the love flute, as far as I understand, was didn't you tell me this story? I think you tell it better than I do. Where they would get up on a hill and blow the flute and whatever, and then all of a sudden, one maiden would be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing."
I was trying to remember who wrote that story or who told the story, and in my mind, it's Joseph Marshall that told the story, but it was about this guy who was sulking because he wanted to be with this woman, but there was another guy who was after her also. And
Who was hotter? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. In my mind, the guy who was sulking was, the hottest. And you know how the stories go.
Yeah.
It's always like the most good looking and stuff, or like, oh, they didn't choose me. Oh, and then all of a sudden it works out to where they choose them and they're like, oh, you were the one all the time, this whole time, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's that one movie? I can't remember that chick, Freddie Prinze Jr. Remember you know what I mean? She's not into this or something like that.
She's not into you, or
she's not,
or something.
She's just not that into you. I don't
know.
So that's another example. So like all of a sudden she's like this 3, right? She sulks, or he's like a 3 and he sulks, right? He's got this Filbert looking body, and and then he goes sulks on a hill, right? And then while he's out sulking, his body's transforming. All of a sudden he's becoming a Rodney Grant.
That was because he was fasting, and now his body kind of ate his reserves.
He ate the Filbert away. And all of a sudden his hair got straightened out, and all of a sudden he was wind in his hair.
Anyway.
Let me ask you something. Was Rodney Grant a good-looking man?
I don't think so.
No, not to you?
No, not to me. And I have... Graham Greene?
Yeah.
What I love about Graham Greene is his smile. So you look at Graham Greene and he's not smiling, it's like that.
Yeah.
But if he starts to smile at you, holy smokes, that smile is contagious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just something about that smile.
Yeah.
Like I can picture it now and I'm smiling.
All right. My next question. How do you have a res date?
How do you have a res date?
Yeah, how do you have a res date?
I'm trying to remember.
Now, the reason why I ask this question is because, all right, so here's the problem. Everybody talks about having dates or Valentine's Day dates and all this and that. But, like, how you don't have funds, okay? Or you don't have access. I don't know. How do you have a reservation date?
Okay, so the first thing that popped into my head was, like, cruising the White Clay Dam or going up to Sheep Mountain.
Ooh, you're old school.
Well, you almost killed us at Sheep Mountain that time.
I was trying to make you fall in love with me.
What's that called? Remember when somebody, it's like, not the Savior, what was it called? Nightingale something?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's where these people are injured and then they fall in love with the person who's taking care of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like that? Is that what you were trying to do or what?
That's exactly.
That's just wrong. Just wrong.
Savior's remorse or something like that?
No, it's not Savior's remorse. It's something else. You're going to probably have to look it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like when somebody is like hurt or injured or whatever, they would fall in love with like the nurse that was taking care of them or something like that. Anyway,
so
from a long time ago.
that traumatic event that I caused.
That's what you were trying to go for, but it didn't work. Crazy trauma. Yeah, but
trauma.
got PTSD from that stuff. But
That's right, because like that was a long time ago, and you still
that was
don't let
a
that go.
long time ago. Yeah, I don't let that go at all because it was traumatizing.
Even though that I have a clean record.
You had a clean record. That's really hard to believe.
I have a clean record. 25. Remember that?
Those are warnings. You get pulled over. I don't even get pulled
25.
over at all.
I'm like massaging the officer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so good looking.
Wow. When did you shine your boots? Because it looks fantastic.
25.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so res dates.
Yeah.
We kind of went way out there.
Yeah, because you can't go to like swing up the bats and let me have your Valentine's Day special. And they're like, do you want JoJo's with that?
No. I think that, just from my own experience, all it is cruising the back roads, maybe. Going out like that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Cruising the back roads. Let me tell you about cruising the back roads. There is some, one time me and Leroy were cruising the back roads. We were just literally cruising the back roads. And I don't know how many times people pull up on people that were just cruising the back roads.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably what dates are. Right?
I don't know. I mean, what I was trying to figure out is how you have a Valentine's Day date on the reservation. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Like, do you take him to dinner?
Where would you take him to dinner at?
The casino? The casino, over to
You can't say Shattering because Shattering's
Angels.
not on the res.
You go to Angels. I don't know. Burrito Lady.
That's what. This is why I'm saying, Backroads, baby.
Yeah, I guess so.
Backroads.
All right.
That's probably the resiest date you can think of, but I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so my second question is, what do you think about the idea of monogamous relationships being unnatural to humans? So for one person, one human to stay with another human and just have that one relationship forever and ever until they both pass away, is that unnatural or is that natural?
Okay, so that's unnatural. I think that's unnatural.
Why?
How many, well, on your hand, can you name 5 right off the bat that were like, oh, they were lovey-dovey all the way to the end? Because I can't.
Yeah, no.
Also, it's not natural in nature.
Okay.
There isn't a single species out there. I mean, wolves are like Mormons. They're like one alpha, donor wives.
Jay.
I mean, even ducks, mallards, Lakota philosophy and thought, there's always this concept in there. And don't get me wrong, I respect it. It's just that in real life nature, not even real. Because the concept in Lakota culture and philosophy is that 2 ducks, a male duck and a female duck, hook up and stay together forever in the journey of life. Sprinkles, Salt Bay. And that's not accurate at all.
No.
No, because ducks are some of the skankiest, trampiest animals in the animal kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're like total skanks.
Well, you think about eagles too.
Eagles?
Because they refer to eagles too. They
Right.
find one partner and that's their partner for the rest of their lives.
Right. No.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, not even close either. If you go to Alaska is the eagle's brothel. They're up there. They're just like, that water is probably just nasty. You know, I mean, eagles hook up with each other all the time. That whole love spiral dive thing that they do, that's just them going out on each other. You know, that's just probably what it is. But no, eagles aren't those. Penguins are a different thing altogether, you know. And I mean, that's just an example of like penguins are the male. The female's like, all right, boo, I'm going to head out. I might be back. I might not. Take care of that kid. I'm gone. Yep. That's how it is with penguins. Mm-hmm. You know.
I should have asked, okay, so if you're going to use animals, which animal would you have been?
Which animal am
The
I?
penguin or the eagle?
Oh, I'm one of the 5s here. All right? I'm one of the 5s.
I can see you as a penguin.
I was going to say probably a penguin. If I come home one day and outside the microphones are outside, I'm going to be like, huh. Like looking in the windows and like, she swapped me out. Just kind of want to see what this guy looks like. If I find you hooked up with a dude that has a better beard than this, I'm just going to submit. I'm going to be like, Azure Lou, this guy's your dad. All right? Trust me.
Never trust me or what?
The beard says it all. His braid's longer. He's funnier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What about you?
What about me?
What about you?
What animal would I have
What
been?
animal you've been?
Probably the eagle.
You'd have been.
Because I like to soar.
You like this?
Yeah.
Soar, don't you?
I like to soar. I'm sorry. I think about ducks, but, you know, no. I mean, you go to Instagram's page or Instagram and go to this page called Nature's Meadow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those ducks. No, you don't want to be a duck. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to our questions.
No, that was it. That was all 3.
That was our second question because this is my third question.
So what's my third question? All right. Valentine's Day. We hit the lottery. Me and you hit the lottery. $1 million. What do we do for Valentine's Day?
For Valentine's Day, to kick it off, like.
So tomorrow I buy a scratcher, scratch off $1 million.
But would we get that $1 million right away? That's the question.
Okay,
probably
let's just probably not. But let's just pretend all of a sudden all their ducks in a row, ducks, not a pun, and they give us the $1 million right there.
Yeah.
Hand us a check, take it to the bank, cover the
bank's like, wait, I need a 30-day hold on this. So is that really? I'm just kidding.
No, you're thinking
I'm just kidding. So anyway, to kick off Valentine's Day, if you won the lottery and won $1 million.
You won the lottery.
If I won the lottery,
you won the lottery.
And
Not
I won
me.
$1 million,
yeah.
First off, would I tell you? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. His bags are sitting outside. He said this was okay.
It's like, what the hell?
Remember Joseph Marshall said that women have that choice to get rid of their husbands.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
They weren't shunned.
Yeah.
They weren't, reprimanded or anything. It was okay.
Right.
It was just a part of life.
Right.
So if she wanted to get rid of her husband, all she had to do was collect all his stuff and put it outside. Remember that. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'm just kidding. So back to your question.
Okay.
We would actually pay off all of our debts. So if we go on a trip somewhere for Valentine's Day, you and I, we would go debt-free.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
Probably buy a vehicle, right?
Probably.
Or jack up the van.
We would have money for like a babysitter to spoil our kids while we're gone, and say, get them something nice.
Yeah.
Take them out to McDonald's every now and then. Something, and we'll go head out to Fort Yates and go play at the casino.
Big thoughts. Big thoughts. I like where you're at. That's why I love you. All right. Last question.
My last question. So now this one I have to think about because
Oh.
I didn't write it down.
Oh, you didn't?
No, because I did have a third question.
Okay.
But I wanted to actually ask you something else rather than my third question. So did you fall in love with me because you loved me, or did you fall in love with me because you knew I was pretty capable of doing a lot of shit? That I was pretty resourceful. That I'm like, you know what? I can carry this stuff in by myself. I can move these couches. I don't need your help.
Do we got to do this right now?
We're always talking about being practical people.
I saw this.
Right?
Right.
And I'm not so sure if they were pretty, like our idea of romantic nowadays, it kind of gets crazy, kind of gets out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there might have been something like that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure about that. So let's just say everything was practical.
Okay.
So we were together for a reason, because we can knock out so many kids, and these kids, based off of our character, would grow up to be some pretty awesome, people that can contribute to
society.
Yeah, to our society.
Okay.
So I ask you the question. Did you fall in love with me because you were in love with me, or did you fall in love with me because I can take care of my own shit? And I knew that I could contribute.
See, honestly, I didn't even know that was part of your circle. Didn't know that you were capable of doing all that.
Really?
You know what's crazy, though? Is that one of my first impressions of you was that I automatically, for whatever reason, thought your credit was good.
Really?
Yeah, really thought your credit was like. I thought like you were outstanding. I just assumed that was a thing that you had great credit.
Okay.
That wasn't. I mean, that wasn't alluring. I'm just saying that was my impressions of you. Is that
The first impression
yeah.
of me was that I had good credit, and
Yeah.
you were kind of actually right because I did have good credit at that time. At that time.
At that time.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I think here's the thing about guys is that if they're in love with a woman, like if they're in love with a woman,
With women.
if they're in love with women, no, they're straight up. They'll make some commitments, and that's the thing is that I don't know. Like, I mean, I go to all ends for you, for a lot of stuff, and I think having all of whatever this is, even this right here. I mean, go to ends, and I just think that's. I think a lot of relationships are. They're like, oh, men are dogs. All men are dogs. No, not all of us. Not all of us. I mean, there's points in my life probably I was, but for the most part, you know, I'm very dedicated. I'm very in love. So, is that what?
And I was that eagle, he said.
And I was the dude with the flute that day. Had the Filbert look. But I came out Rodney Grant, didn't I?
What did I say about Rodney Grant, though?
Oh, Graham Greene, didn't I? Came out Graham Greene, didn't I?
No.
No?
Not the smile,
Not
though.
the smile, though, huh? Okay.
No, the reason why I ask you that because I really wonder about relationships sometimes,
Right.
and it's like a lot of times to me it feels like when we get into relationships, this is based off of my own experience, but you know, it's you fall in love with the idea of who you think that person is because you'll see somebody like I seen you. And I thought, holy cow, this guy, you know, even though I was annoyed by you initially, you know, I was like, this guy's pretty cool to be around because it was like you were
Makes you feel good.
very energetic,
Yeah.
you know, and I love the way you talk.
Right.
And it
Really?
just, voice got all deep. But I think we have an idea of somebody just based off of what we see. And, you know, a lot of times we go into it kind of like, it's not so much like I thought it would be.
Awesome.
So, anyway.
We got to cap it here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're out of time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
It was
then.
fun.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do this again.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
For Keely Radio News and Public.
I was like, what the heck?